Hi guys, it's Little Kansas Kitty and I welcome you back to my journey. First off, I just wanted to extend a warm welcome and a thank you to all of you that are watching and supporting. This weight loss surgery community is incredible. It's so positive and it's so encouraging. It's the best. And I just invite you to join along, to be inspired, to be encouraged as you go down the path of your own weight loss surgery journey. So let's get to stats. I had the RNY gastric bypass surgery on June 25th, 2018, and I started off at a high weight of 238 pounds. I am 5'6", I'm 38 years old, and today I am 178 pounds. So that means I lost 2 pounds in the last week and I'm down a total of 60 pounds. So I am so excited about that because I have a 100-pound goal. That means I'm 60 pounds down and I have 40 to go. So I'm down even more than I have left to lose. So it's pretty exciting. I've had a little distraction lately. Actually, it's probably been a little monthly check-in and distraction for probably the last year. And I told myself that I would not date until next year. So I'm kind of breaking my own little personal rule that I set against myself. But this little distraction is 6'4", curly hair, New Jersey, Panamanian mix, an electrical engineer, and he just makes me melt. He makes me melt. And he has been asking me to go to lunch and different things for quite some time now. We met on Bumble over a year ago, and we were seeing each other very casually for about 3, maybe 4 months, and then I put a stop to it. And I decided that I needed to focus on just kind of healing myself from my divorce, and I just had to figure out how to be alone. But anyway, he has been so sweet to check in on a regular basis, and I could not resist. When he asked me to lunch again the other day, I said yes. So I caved, and it was fun. I was really nervous. When the lunch arrived, we went and had Mexican. I barely touched my plate, and I had ordered lettuce wrap tacos, and they were really good, but I was just barely eating. And so watching him eat, and I was just like, you know, talking, and just watching him. I just barely ate. And so he did comment on that, and I just told him, I said, I think I'm just excited. You know, I haven't shared with him that I just had weight loss surgery, and probably since the last time I'd seen him, I had gained 50 pounds and now I'm down 60 pounds. So for him, you know, my body hasn't changed at all, maybe just a little bit smaller. Anyway, he was really sweet with the leftovers. When I got like my doggy bag, he immediately just like took my plate, took the doggy bag, and just like put it all in there for me, and I thought that was super sweet. I don't think I've had anyone ever do that for me before. I do fear that if we start hanging out a whole lot more, that just like getting into the social thing, I don't want to drink right now, and I just fear I'm gonna like just be really tempted to. So he's not someone that I see myself long-term with as a companion, but for now he's fun, and he's hot. And the lunch date did end with a kiss. So anyway, We'll see where all of that goes. Um, okay, so I did have another bad food episode on Friday. No, I'm sorry, this was on Thursday night. So anyway, I had made some burgers for my kids, and I used really lean meat, and they had little like skeleton Cheeto puffs, and I boiled corn on the cob, and the burgers I put cheese, melted cheese on top of that. And what else they had? They had like strawberries and stuff. But anyway, I thought that I got out my scale and I measured one of the very lean burgers with the cheese on it, and it was that with like an eighth probably of the corn on the cob was like still less than 4 ounces after I weighed it. And I took my time. I chewed. I was really good at it. And pretty much about 30 minutes afterwards, I felt really full. I mean, actually, I was feeling pretty full. And I mean, really full. And then I got to the point where I was really uncomfortably full. And so I had kind of cleaned up a little bit. And then I was just sitting on the couch with my daughter. And then I had to lay down, and I was just starting to get so uncomfortable. And then all of a sudden, like, the clumping started. And it probably wasn't until like an hour and a half after I'd finished eating, but I got so uncomfortable, and I ran over to the sink and I threw up. And this time it wasn't just spit, like I actually threw up a little bit of the food. And I didn't know what I did wrong at the time. I was like, what did I do? I chewed. I only had a little bit. I had as much as I thought I could. And so I wasn't sure what I did. And I just thought, well, maybe I'm just not ready for like hamburger meat yet, even though it was really lean. And then I got out my binder, and this is kind of my weight loss like surgery binder. And I read in a section that was problems you may encounter, which talks about like clumping and dumping and stuff. And it says specific foods to avoid. And on there is tough meats such as beef steak or pork chops. So it's beef, the burger was. And then on there, one of the items is listed as corn. So I think the corn I couldn't digest it, and it got stuck, and it made it really uncomfortable. So lesson learned, I'm gonna stay away from burgers and corn for a while. Let's see, my skin, I think I mentioned last week that it's a little softer, and I do feel that we are our best and worst critics as we look at ourselves, in the mirror. And I'm definitely have some, like saggy areas. And I think that's probably also with weight loss, rapid weight loss. Now my skin's sagging in some areas. And so I've been dreaming a lot about like a lower body lift, just getting my thighs done, and like a Brazilian booty lift, and maybe my arms. And so, with weight loss, you're going to have excess skin, and so I just been kind of in that dream world. I'm like, would be nice. So I'm hoping that with losing some more fat though in some of those areas, that whole like, that's going to minimize some of that and reduce it. Let's see, another thing, last week I mentioned no headaches in 15 weeks, and you can just scratch that, totally scratch it. I had literally like 4 or 5 headaches this week. It was crazy. I hadn't had any for 15 weeks. And I think it could be a couple different reasons. It could probably be the weather here. It's been raining pretty much every day in Kansas City. So those weather changes. And then also I'm doing a lot of running. And so I think maybe could be a little dehydrated. So I've been really trying to bump up the last couple days. And I haven't had any headaches for the last couple days, but The beginning of the week was insane. So, which, you know, when I say insane, I took 2 Tylenols because, you know, we can't have ibuprofen after gastric bypass. And so I just took 2 Tylenol tablets and it cured it. It took care of it. So my runs this week, I've had a lot of wet, rainy runs. Probably out of the last 7 runs, 5 of them were in the rain. And that's okay. It's just preparing me for who knows what race day is going to bring. So next week I'm running the half marathon, the Kansas City half marathon. So I'm really excited. I did 2 weeks, the 2 weeks pre-op, I walked for about an hour a day. And then 6 weeks post-op, I walked. So that's like 8 weeks of walking. And pretty much, I think I was close to about an hour a day. And then the next 2 weeks, so now we're at, you know, about 8 weeks post-op, I did kind of a shuffle jog. And then I put together my training schedule. And so for including this coming up week, it'll be 9 week. I put together 9 week half marathon training schedule. And including today's run plus the half marathon, I would have covered in those 9 weeks 300 miles. So I'm excited. I'm excited that I'm back. It just feels really good. My brother is running his 2nd full marathon next week at the Kansas City marathon. So I'm really excited to be there and support him. He and I ran the Kansas City full 4 years ago together, and that was his first. And he still runs with all my running girlfriends. I can't run with most of them because I'm too slow right now, but I'm really excited for him because this is his 2nd and he's got some time goals on him. And then the other person that I am actually really what this race is all about is my friend Carol. So my friend Carol is a machine. I'm telling you, she's a machine, and she goes and she goes and she goes. We basically call her the Energizer Bunny. She was the one that encouraged me to run my first full marathon, and she took me under her wing and trained me within 6 weeks. Granted, I did have my mileage up to 13 already at the time, and then over the next 6 weeks, she just took me on her wing. I dropped 15 pounds so quick because we were running fast, and she took me and a whole bunch of other girls, and we all went and did a girls trip in Palm Beach, Florida. And I ran my first full marathon 9 years ago. And she's incredible. And the Kansas City Marathon coming up a week from today is going to be Carol's 100th marathon. 100 marathons. It's crazy. So we are there to support her. We've got lots of running friends. I had one of the graphic designers at my job put together a really cool logo. To celebrate her. She doesn't know all the details, but we have folks lined up along the race at different mile markers to cheer her on. We have a tent set up at the halfway mark at 13.1 miles where we've got removable tattoos that people can grab, signage, music, everything. And then towards the end, when she finishes her last mile, we've got several runners that are doing only the half marathon, and we're all going to join in and try to run like from mile 25 to 26 with her 1 mile, and then send her off through the finish line. Her husband did get bib number 100 for her, so when she picks up her race packet this week, she's going to see that she's number 100. We've got the announcer already on cue to say something special, and then everyone's coming over to my office afterwards, and we're going to do a big Mexican fiesta celebration for her. So anyway, really excited to celebrate my friend Carol, and excited to be running myself. You know, 4 or 5 months ago, I did not think I would be in the place that I am. I'm really, really proud that I'm back. This is probably my 8th or 9th half marathon, and then I've done 5 full marathons. So I am really excited to be back because it just feels so good. It feels so good to get out there and get that fresh air and just to run. And anyway, so with that, I am going to go ahead and close this. Wish me luck in my final stretch, and have an amazeballs healthy week, and I will see you post-op the Kansas City Half Marathon. Take care.